Fights, Mics, and Media. I'm Goldie Boyd. Born Jesse Barnes Weaver Jr., June 22nd, 1962, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Coined as the original gangster of rap. It's no other than Schoolie D. Schoolie D gave you some of the dopest hit singles in 1985 with PSK. What does it mean? PSK, what does it mean? He also gave you Gucci Time. Looking at my Gucci, it's about that time. And if that wasn't ill enough, he gave you Put Your Felines On. That same year, he gave you the self-titled album, Schoolie D. Then shortly after that, in 1986, he gave you Saturday Night, the album. Then he followed that up and gave you in 1988, Smoke Some Kill. Shortly after that, in 89, he came back with Am I Black Enough For You? And then 1991, he had How a Black Man Feels. And then 1994, he put out Welcome to America. In 1995, he gave you Reservoir Dogs. And then his last album in 2000, Funkin' Pussy. Schoolie D was one of them ill-ass niggas, man. He had that dope boy swag. And he had a lot of dudes trying to copy him, you know what I mean? And basically was biters. And I'm going to give you one of the biters who was the ultimate biter. Ice-T was the ultimate biter, although he kind of admitted to it. He basically took Schoolie D's style and then moved to the West Coast and recreated himself as a West Coast gangster rapper. But he took Schoolie D's whole style because before he put out his songs, Schoolie D was sounding that Schoolie always sounded like that, and then he started putting out his songs sounding exactly like Schoolie's. So you definitely had dudes biting off Schoolie D, and Ice-T was definitely the main contributor to that. But Schoolie D is one of the illest niggas that ever touched the mic, man. And I just wanted to give him his light and give him his flowers while he's still alive to see this video, man. So happy birthday and big respect to Schoolie D, Philly's own Schoolie D. Mwah. Ironically, at the same time that Schoolie D was rocking out of Philly, you had another original gangster of hip-hop rocking out of New York City, specifically Fort Greene Projects. And he goes by the name of Joseph Williams Jr., also born on June 22nd, 1962. And that's no other than Just Ice. If you're not serving justice, you're just ice. 32 degrees below zero. Just Ice put out his first single, Back to the Old School, in 1986. And then he followed that up with LaToya and Cole Getting Dumb. And that same year, he put out the album, Back to the Old School. And then he followed that up the following year in 1987 with Cool and Deadly. Cool and Deadly was produced by KRS-One, and that shit was flames. Like you had joints like Going Way Back on that joint, which was crazy. Like you heard that shit playing everywhere in the hood. And then you also had Mash It Up, which was like a Jamaican sounding type joint, which was crazy, bro. It had that vibe. And then he had a joint that was beatboxed by Davey DMX, which was the original gangster of hip hop. And yeah, man. KRS also produced the following album in 1989, which was the Desolate One, and that was another dope joint. And then in 1990, they followed that up with Masterpiece, and in 1993, Gun Talk. 1995, he had Kill the Rhythm Like a Homicide, and then in 1998, he put out in Roman numerals 7, and that was his last album, notable album. And then I guess he didn't really have that much success, so he kind of like fell in the cracks. But listen, man, Just Ice was one of them guys, man. He was a wild boy. He even beat a murder charge in like 90 in like 87 or some shit like that, man. You know, when I was a young boy. So you heard wild stories about Just Ice back in the days, man. And then he was the first dude to like diss all the go-go dudes in DC and be dissing Run DMC. So like he was like straight up dissing Run DMC, bro. Like nobody disses Run DMC, and he was like the first nigga doing that, man. So yeah, Just Ice was a wild boy, man. But anyway, man, I just wanted to shed some light on Just Ice's career, and and also point out the fact that he was the first gangster of rap out of New York, and him and Schoolie D were the first gangsters of rap, period, on the East Coast, man. And he also, yeah, he was known for being the first gangster rapper, but he was also on the song in 1989, which was a huge song, Self Destruction, with BDP in them, man. So he was also about peace, and he was also one of the first guys that brought the 5% Nation of God's Nerfs to the public, like, because nobody was really talking about that before him, and then Rakim came out after him and made it a big thing. But he actually spearheaded that, to be honest, in the hip hop world. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to give a huge, big, happy physical degree day to the God Just Ice, man, and wish him a warm, happy birthday, man. Peace. Mwah.